हरि ओम। यन्मायावशवर्ति विश्वमखिलं ब्रह्मादिदेवासुरा यत्सत्त्वादमृषैव भाति सकलं रज्जौ यथा हेर्भ्रमः यत्पादप्लवमेकमेव हि भवाम्बोधे स्थितिर्षावताम् वन्देऽहं तमशेषकारणपरं रामाख्यमीशं हरिम्। श्रीराम जय जय राम ॐ श्रीराम 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 जय राम ॐ जय राम ॐ जय राम ॐ। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। We had seen the stuti of Jatayuji and we had seen the liberation of Kabandha. He was cursed to become a tree and Bhagwan gave him moksha and told him that Santa Mahatmas should not be made fun of because he has made fun of Durvasa Rishi. That thought ended up to be a curse for him. And he went on into the discussion that a saintly person, even if he is scolding externally, is worshipful. And a demonic person, even if he is saying good things, doesn't become worshipful. So with that, we enter into this topic of Navadha Bhakti. This is after 33rd Doha. Shri Ram Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram Shri Ram Jai Ram सापत ताडत परुषक हंत विप्र पूज्य असगावहि संत पूजिय विप्रशील गुणहीना शूद्रन गुणगण ज्ञान प्रवीणा कहि निज धर्मताहि समुझावा निज पद प्रीति देखि मन भावा रघुपति चरण कमल सिरुनाई गयउ गगन आपनि गति पाई ताहि देई गति राम उदारा सबरी के आश्रम पगुधारा सबरी देखि राम गृह आए मुनि के बचन समुझ जिय भाए सरसि जलोचन बाहु विशाला जटा मुकुट सिर उर बनमाला श्याम गौर सुंदर दो भाई सबरी परि चरण लपटाई प्रेम मगन मुख बचन न आवा पुनि पुनि पद सरोज सिर नावा सादर जल लय चरण पखारे पुनि सुंदर आसन बैठारे कंद मूल फल सुरस अति दिए राम कहुआनी प्रेम सहित प्रभु खाए बारंबार बखानी सियावर रामचंद्र की जय पवन सुत हनुमान की जय उमापति महादेव की जय बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। So until two chaupais is still the story of Kabandha. After that, third one, Tahi Dei Gati Rama Udara, Sabri Ke Ashrama Pagudhara. Sabriji feels she is staying in her home, but Bhagwan says she is staying in an ashram. Means one thing is, when Bhagwan is on Vanavasa, he says, I cannot go to people's home. I can only go to an ashram. So in his eyes, Shabriji's place of living is an ashram. Sabari deki Rama Gruha aaye, Muni ke bachana samuji jiya bhaaye. Shabriji, see what word she uses. Sabari deki Rama Gruha aaye. Gruha means home. So in her eyes, Bhagwan has come to her home, but in Bhagwan's eyes, he has come to Shabriji's ashram. And Lord is in front of her eyes. Whom does she remember? Muni ke bachana samuji jiya bhai. In her heart, she remembers her Guru. So the story of Shabriji, we are very familiar with. Her Guru's name was Matanga Rishi. And Shabriji would serve Matanga Rishi. And her way of serving was such that whatever seva she would do, Matanga Rishi never knew about it. Whatever Shabriji did for Matanga Rishi and all the disciples who were studying with Matanga Rishi, nobody knew who is doing it. And this goes on for a long time. And one day Matanga Rishi decides to come early from his dip in the river. And when he comes back, he sees Shabriji taking care of everything that is needed for him. And out of pure love and in appreciation of her seva, Matanga Rishi says, from today onwards, this ashram is yours. You stay here, I am going into deeper forest for more sadhana. Shabriji says, I have no idea what to do in an ashram. I don't even know what sadhana I should do. And I don't know what to teach. Matanga Rishi says, you don't have to worry about any of these things. I will give you one sadhana. You do it wholeheartedly. That one sadhana will bring everything for you. And he just gives her Rama Nama Mantra. Not even the meaning of it. Matanga Rishi only says, you keep chanting, this mantra will bring Bhagwan to you. In 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagwan had mentioned one verse. If there is a person who doesn't know anything, but if he has faith and implicit obedience to Guru, that person will get everything certainly. Shruti parayanaha atitaranti eva. One good example of that is Shabriji. Without having too much of intellection, humility and faith in Guru's words, she just starts doing that sadhana wholeheartedly, and with this faith that Bhagwan will come. If my Guru has said it, it cannot be otherwise. And that is this statement over here, Muni ke bachana samuji jiya bhai. Whatever Matanga Rishi had told her, that statement, Guru's words, comes to her mind when she sees Bhagavan. Now what does she do? Sarasija lochana bahu bisala. Looking at Bhagavan, who is beautiful, strong arms. Jata mukuta ura, sira ura banamala. He is having a jata and vanamala around his neck. Syama gaura sundara do bhai. Dark in complexion and beautiful. Sabari pari charana lapatai. Sabriji falls at Bhagwan's feet. Now she is so overwhelmed with joy that no words are coming. Means imagine somebody comes or you go to somebody's home and that person is so happy, unable to speak. That is an expression of exalted joy. Puni puni pada saroja siranava. Again and again she is bowing down to Bhagwan's feet. And with lot of reverence, sadara jalale charana pakhari. She washes Bhagwan's feet. Puni sundara asana baithare. Then makes him sit in a beautiful place. Now people say that she took bear and started tasting them before giving it to Bhagwan. Goswamiji says no. Kanda moola phala surasa ati diye Rama kahu ani. Right from the beginning, she had chosen sweet bear. She found those bears in such a way that all of them were sweet. And prema sahita prabhukhaye. Bhagwan ate them with lot of love. Baram bara bakhani. Again and again praising Shabriji's humility. One commentator beautifully writes, this line, prema sahita prabhukhaye, baram bara bakhani, is not a statement which is made at Shabriji's ashram. This is the statement Bhagwan tells to Kausalya ji 14 years after. When he goes back to Ayodhya, when Kausalya ji used to serve him, Bhagwan would remember the serving of Shabriji. Baram bara bakhani, again and again he would remember her hospitality. Now there is some mananam to be done. There were so many devotees, so many ashrams. Why did Bhagwan choose to go only to Shabriji's ashram? If Bhagwan does something, there has to be a reason. He cannot randomly choose a person. So in Shabriji's story, what are some uniqueness about her personality, about her sadhana? You know, one thing about seva is, whenever a person does seva, if a person is not alert, it will increase our doership. Shabriji's beauty was, in spite of doing seva, her doership was very weak. So much so that she did not want to become anything. That is the first aspect in Shabriji's personality that melted Bhagwan's heart. The nature of karma is, whichever karma we do, it will increase our kartrutva. Simple letter you write, or not even write, you review. Later on, if somebody praises that letter, what do we say? I reviewed it. So wherever our doership goes, there our kartrutva increases. And first sadhana is, bhakti is that where our doership reduces. That was powerful enough to bring Bhagwan Rama to her doorstep. Bhagwan Rama to her ashram, that brought the Lord to her. We see the story of Duryodhana and Vidurji in Mahabharata. Duryodhana has lavish spread, and Vidurji, his wife Sulabha, gives Bhagwan peel of the banana, not even the banana. She is so much in love with Bhagwan, she gives him the peel. What is the song? Sabse ऊंची प्रेम सगाई. दुर्योधन के मेवा त्याग्यो साग बिदुर घर खाई. What melts the Lord's heart is how small we have become through our seva. Now, what seva did Shabriji do? How many people did she transform? Nobody. She transformed herself. Every day she would get up, do Nama Japa. And because her Guru had said, Bhagwan will come, every day she would prepare her ashram in such a way that Bhagwan, if he comes at that time, nothing should be missing. This was a master stroke of Matanga Rishi. He did not tell Shabri ji when Bhagwan will come. If somebody tells you, I'm going to visit your home, but it doesn't tell when he will come. It's like our Amazon delivery, They give a window. You say, anytime he will come, so your anticipation is more. At every point we are alert. Like that, Matanga Rishi did not tell Shabri ji when Bhagwan will come. So every day was her sadhana day. And every moment was, he could come anytime. Imagine if this is the mindset, she probably did not leave her ashram. So that was the second aspect in her personality. First one was small ego. Second is implicit faith in Guru's words. Along with patience. Sometimes one of these two things is missing. Either we don't have faith or we don't have patience. Without knowing when Bhagwan will come, every day she continued doing it, and with firm faith that if he has said, he will come. That was the second part. Actually, this is Karma Yoga. The deeper aspect of Karma Yoga is this. If we can act in anticipation of God, if we can act in remembrance of God, that action becomes Karma Yoga. So Shabri ji sweeping the floor, sweeping floor by itself is not Karma Yoga. That many people might be doing. Sweeping the floor, remembering the Lord is Karma Yoga. So see Matanga Rishi, how he guided Shabri ji as a sadhaka. He did not tell her, do this, do that. All he told her was, keep your mind on the Lord. Keep chanting his name and keep doing what you have to do. So these facets put together brought Bhagwan to Shabri ji. Now, having eaten the bear, by the way, if you find any story where there is Jhuthe bear, that is also there in some other Ramayana. So don't suddenly start, saying what is right and wrong. It is different bhavana. What is more important is the emotion. Now Bhagwan is talking to Shabri ji after 34. पानी जोरी आगे भई ठाड़ी, प्रभु ही बिलो की प्रीति अति बाढ़े, केहि विधि स्तुति करो तुम्हारी, अधम जाति में जड़मति बाढ़ी, केहि विधि स्तुति करो तुम्हारी, अधम जाति में जड़मति भारी, अधमते अधम अधम अति नारी, तिन्ह में मति मंद अघारी, कह रघुपति सुनु भामिनी बाता, मानव एक भगति करनाता, जाति पाति कुल धर्म बढ़ाई, धन बल परिजन गुण चतुराई, भगतिहीन नर सोहई कैसा, बिनु जल बारिद देखिए जैसा। श्री राम जय जय राम, श्री राम जय जय राम। I would be very happy if we can memorize the next Doha onwards. Navadha Bhakti, kaho to hi pai. But we will pause until there. Let us see the first 3 chaupais first. If you can memorize, next chaupai onwards. Pani jori aage bai thadi. Shabriji, with folded hands, is sitting in front of the Lord. And looking at Bhagwan, her love is increasing even more. Prabhu hi bilo ki preeti ati badi. She tells Bhagwan, I am a very ordinary person. All other Rishi Munis have sang so many praises. Even the bird Jatayuji sang your stuti. But I don't have any vocabulary. I don't know Sanskritam to sing any stuti of yours. Kehi bidi astuti karau tumhari. And what is my background? Adhama jati mein jadamati bhari. My upbringing was in a very humble place, and my intellect is very dull. I cannot understand too many subtleties. Now she says another line. Adhamate adhama adhama ati nari. Adhama means low. Adhamate adhama, lower than the low. And lowest amongst the low. Shabriji is in Nari Sharira, so she says, I am like that. Tina maha mein mati manda aghari. And I am the one who has all negativities filled inside. Now again, this chaupai, be very careful in understanding. Actually, this is the statement of an honest sadhaka. Either he is Nara or Nari, man or a woman, when he stands eye to eye with the Lord and starts listing down his spiritual accomplishments, how much focus he has developed. When he does one mala of japa, how many times he is actually able to think of the Lord. How deep is his absorption in meditation. When he starts listing his spiritual accomplishments, what is the statement that should come to a sincere sadhaka? Adhamate adhama, adhama ati nara, adhamate adhama, adhama ati nari. That is why you will see in Vinay Patrika, Goswami Tulsidas ji says, Moso kauna kutila khala kami. Who is there more crooked, lusty than me? Now we should remember, these are statements of great Mahatmas. It is only guidance for us as sadhakas that more we look within, more we discover our limitations. What is the point in analyzing this chaupai is externally. Whether Goswamiji was right or was he wrong in writing these chaupais. He is a spiritual saint. And saints don't have anything to say about physical body. So whenever there are chaupais written for Nara or Nari, we should understand it is mainly for a sadhaka. So just look at spiritual stamina, spiritual accomplishments. Sincere sadhaka will realize, I have a long way to go. That is why we should keep reading Life of Saints. They are just a reminder what should be our benchmark. So when we read Life of Taponji Maharaj, in different aspects, his nishtha in Brahma, his perspective towards the world, all of them, they set a benchmark. And what mindset we should develop as sadhaka? That we are babies on spiritual path. Taking small steps in front of the Lord. We are very, very small. Now Bhagwan, in response to her statement, says, Kaha Raghupati sunu bhamini bata. Bhagwan is calling Shabri ji, oh beautiful person. Bhamini means one who glows. So Shabri ji, he says, Bhamini. Mano eka bhagati kara nata. Now this is where Bhagwan introduce this topic of devotion, bhakti. Now, Navadha Bhakti is the main topic. One thing to note is, Navadha Bhakti is not 9 different ways of bhakti. It is 9 facets of bhakti. One devotion, how can we blossom it? In 9 ways. That bhakti word is also beautiful. You must have heard this statement, devotion is the easiest path. Either in Srimad Bhagavatam or in other bhakti grantha, devotion is the easiest. Why do we say that? Because there is one emotion in us which is inherently there. And that is the emotion of preeti. Preeti means love. If you make infinitive form, what does it mean? To love. Ability to love is there with everybody. Just like we have different bhavana, right? One bhavana might be of compassion. One bhavana means emotion. Compassion might be there. Gentleness might be there. Calmness might be there. In the same way, there is one more emotion called as love. So what is preeti? It is one special bhavana, special emotion. In fact, without this emotion, all our relations will be very dry. Just imagine husband-wife. What is it that keeps them together? This emotion of preeti. Many of us teach Bal Vihar. What is it that will bring the child to Bal Vihar or make the child feel connected with Bal Vihar? It is the same emotion of preeti, belongingness. Whatever he receives in the class, that will be something which will make the child come back. Preeti towards relatives, preeti towards friends. Everything is beautiful. So much so that love towards home, love towards wealth, all of them by themselves are harmless. In fact, if we don't have that love, we might become careless. Now this preeti takes 2 forms. What is preeti? Ability to love. That love can express in 2 ways. If our love is directed towards finite things, and that love becomes so single-pointed, so narrow, that our mind gets preoccupied with that thing. That preeti becomes asakti. What is the meaning of asakti? Attachment. If there is love and healthy distance, it will still be preeti. But love without viveka, it becomes asakti. That same love, if it becomes too possessive, then also it becomes asakti. And if that attachment increases to such an extent that it makes a person partial, that also is another expression of asakti. This is where we see Dashrath Maharaj loving Bhagwan Rama and all his sons, and Dhritarashtra loving Duryodhana and all his sons. Dashrath Maharaj expresses preeti. He loves his sons, but if Vishwamitra Rishi asks, he says, you can go with them. But Dhritarashtra is not preeti, but it is asakti. And that asakti is so powerful, it makes him do partiality towards Pandavas. So preeti bhavana is with all of us. What a person has to be careful is, where are we directing it to? And how are we directing it? Is our love used to keep relations strong? Or is it transforming into possessiveness, partiality, and preoccupation? 3 P's. Whatever object we become possessive of. Whatever object or a person we get preoccupied with. And whichever object makes us do partiality. That is where Preeti has converted into strong asakti. If we blindly say love is a bad thing, Preeti is a bondage, then we cannot maintain any relation. If you notice carefully, wherever we are having strain in relationship, very likely Preeti has become less. What is Gurudev's quote? When love becomes thin, faults become thick. And to love independently is the beauty of a sadhaka. What is the difference between sadhaka and a worldly person? A worldly person's love is give and take. If you are nice to me, I am nice to you. What makes a person a saint? Even if the world is not nice to him, he says, my love will not stop. This was Goswamiji's definition. In the beginning, he said saints are like the cotton. It gets beaten up thoroughly and the needle keeps pricking it. But still that cotton cloth comes to cover that person. So Santa's mindset is like that. So 2 words are one side of it. One is Preeti, another is Asakti. Now that same Preeti, same love, instead of directing it to one person, one object, if it gets directed to something more bigger, something higher, that Preeti is called as Bhakti. Notice this carefully. If a person is attached to his car, or let us say person loves his car, remove the word attachment. Every day he wipes it, every day he cleans it, nice and shiny. We don't say person is devoted to his car. What do we say? He loves his car or he is attached to his car. But let's say a person loves his nation, does things for samaja, society. Every thought of his is how will our society benefit. What do we say? He is devoted to his nation. He is devoted to his organization, devoted to his company. Because compared to a car, this altar, either a company, organization, nation, is a much higher altar. So love directed towards higher things becomes bhakti. You must have heard the word devoted scientist, devoted musician. Why are we adding that word devotion there? Because his love is for something higher. Now, if you look at this whole creation, what is the highest thing a person can aspire for? Or what is the highest thing which is there? Infinite thing. So that infinite entity is called as God. What we chant is Sarva Shakti, Sarva Niyanta, Sarva Srishtutva, Sarva Bhoktarutva, Sarva Samharakatva. One who is Sarva, Sarva, Sarva. Infinite, that is Bhagavan. And when we love that Bhagavan, it is called as Parama Bhakti. supreme devotion. Now look at the beauty. Same emotion of love. Question is, where am I directing it and how am I directing it? If I direct it towards the lower and sweeten my life, it is still Preeti. If we direct it towards the lower, become possessive, preoccupied, partial, attached, that becomes Asakti. Same emotion of love, if we can direct it towards higher. The higher we go, greater is the bhakti. So Preeti is called as bhakti. The good news is, our bhakti with Bhagavan, really speaking, is very easy. Because the way bhakti works is, it needs relation. Any love, if you have to sustain it, where do we have to nourish? We have to nourish the relation. So Sambandha brings love, Preeti. Just look at our own contacts, high school friends, school friends. Today, do we have same love towards them that we had 15, 20 years ago? Probably not. Not that we hate them, but we don't have that same emotion. Why is that? Because our Sambandha has broken. We are out of contact. Once contact breaks, naturally love breaks down. So if I want to protect love anywhere, what do I have to nourish? Sambandha. In other words, no relation can be taken for granted. We have to keep maintaining it. And if we don't nourish that relation, love cannot be protected. Now with worldly things and people, we have to build Sambandha. What about Bhagavan? Do we have to build Sambandha or is already built? It is already built. See, Bhagavan is the cause, Jiva is the effect. So we don't have to build a relationship between cause and effect. All we have to do is remember our cause. See, with worldly things, we have to build Sambandha. With Bhagavan, Sambandha is already built. What is happening is Vismruti, forgetfulness. One very popular example is sun and reflection. Does the reflection have to build a bond with the sun? Sun and reflection of sun. The Sambandha relation is already built. If the reflection starts feeling, I am independent, that is when the problem is. So here also in Bhakti, whatever prayer we do every day, what is that prayer actually? A remembrance of our connection with God. Bhagavan, my existence depends upon you. My abilities depend upon you. That remembrance is called as prayer. We also call it as upasana. Now somebody says, Bhagavan, understood. I have to build a bond with you. How can I start? Bhagavan says, note these things by which you cannot start. Two people coming together, their Sambandha has certain reasons. Bhagavan says, those worldly reasons will not work with me. You see the next line. What does he say? First reason for Sambandha is Jati. Jati means if they belong to the same group. Bhagavan says, I have no Jati. So if you come with any idea, I am from this part of the country, I am from that part of the country, I am from this Jati, I am from that Jati. Bhagavan says, I have no Jati. So we cannot have Sambandha through Jati. Next one is Pati. Pati means status. So two people of the same status will develop Sambandha. It can work both way. Huh? Either there can be jealousy or there can be perfect harmony. You see that also. Let's say there are two musicians. Either they will become best friends or worst enemies. But Sambandha is possible. That can be one reason why they can come together. Pati means status. If somebody says, I'm a, what do they say? Jila Adhikari, one who runs the district, civil officer. Or I'm a minister, I'm a chief minister, I run the state. Bhagavan says, I run creation. So with status, we are no match. Whichever big title you take, somebody runs a country. With that status, he says, Pati cannot be a reason to build Sambandha with Bhagavan. You know where the word Pati comes from? Have you heard the word Pankti? Pankti means where you sit. First row seating, second row seating. He said that Pankti only becomes Pati. Status of a person. Kula means lineage. So with lineage, one cannot build Sambandha with Bhagavan. Neither dharma or badai. Dharma means good work, what a person does, nor through good name that a person gets. Dhana bala parijana. Through wealth, through strength, or through family. These are some other reasons why Sambandha can happen. Two people can come together, same reasons. Or guna chaturai, good qualities or cleverness. If a person is very sharp, or person has some skill, many people want to keep contact with that person. These are all, loka jnanam, laukika jnanam, vyavaharik jnanam. He says even if there is a good handyman who has good nature, good skill, after he finishes his work, what will we tell him? Give me your number. Next time if I need you, I will call you. What are we doing there? Building Sambandha through guna. He says none of these things will work for Bhagavan. What works for him? Bhagati hina nara sohai jaisa, binu jala barida dekhiya jaisa. What works for Bhagavan is the previous line. Manav ek bhagati kara nata. I accept the relation of pure love, not anything else. And person without love, without bhakti, is like a cloud without water. What is its purpose? It was unable to do. Now Bhagavan starts his Navadha Bhakti. Let us chant the next chaupai. Navadha Bhakti kahau tohi pahi, savadhana sunu dharu mana mahi. Prathama Bhagati santana kara sanga, dusari rati mama katha prasanga. Gurupada pankaj seva, tisari Bhagati yamana. चौथी भगति मम गुण गण, करई कपटत जिगान सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। पवन सुत हनुमान की जय, उमापति महादेव की जय। बोलो भाई सब संतन की जय, श्री सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। Navadha Bhakti kahau tohi pahi, savadhana sunu dharu mana mahi. Now I am going to explain what is Navadha Bhakti. O Shabri ji, please listen with attention. The first bhakti, Bhagavan says, is holy company. Pratama Bhagati Santanakara Sangha. If a person gets this question, I am a new sadhaka on the path of devotion, where should I start? Bhagavan's advice to us is increase satsang. Wherever we get to listen to Sat, wherever we get to discuss about Sat, that is called as Sat Sangha. Simple etymology of Satsang is that Sangha which turns our mind to Sat, to Bhagavan. That Sangha is called as Sat Sangha. Now, satsang by itself is an elaborate sadhana, elaborate topic. If you just notice, whatever changes have come in our thinking, majority of our thought patterns have changed on the strength of satsang. And since several lives, if you are thinking in one direction, several lives, or you can say several years, because several lives, what do we know? Several years we might be thinking one way. Whenever we started our satsang, that was powerful enough to change our way of thinking. So let's see the literal meaning first. Pratama Bhagati Santanakara Sangha. Dusari Rati Mama Katha Prasanga. And when we start doing satsang, what happens is, if we do it regularly, do it sincerely with reverence, and for a long time, not only we start understanding, but we start getting joy in it. Either it is Ramacharitmanas, Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, whatever kathas are there of Bhagavan, stories are there. We start connecting with them and start remembering them. Just like in our life, whatever moments we cherish, now and then we remember them. Like that, cherishing moments in Bhagavan's life, that is the second bhakti, Dusari Rati Mama Katha Prasanga. But the fine print here is, this rati has to be cultivated. It will not be given to us. I was listening to an interview of the Shanai player, Bismillah Khanji. He was from Banaras. And he was known for doing long riyaz, practice sessions. And somebody asked him, what do you get after doing all this? He said, I live in Banaras, to ras banana padta hai. Whatever ras is there in music, it has to be made. And you cannot get it, you cannot make it unless you practice. So there are many players who play an instrument, but few come to have rati in it. Or he would put it other way. This place is so great, Banaras, कि रस बना बनाया मिलता है. That you have so much of company of musicians and other people that your musical journey becomes very smooth. Just like they have found rati in music, spiritual seeker should find rati in scriptures. So there must have been a time when he would drag himself to study, drag himself to Shravanam, but with his own punya karma, with his own effort. That Shravanam gives Ramanam. Ramanam means delight. Dusari Rati Mama Katha Prasanga. Then third devotion, Guru Pada Pankaja Seva. When a person starts doing Shravanam, starts getting delight in it, what is the next step in his journey? serving the vision of his teacher. Guru Pada Pankaja Seva. Pankaja Seva literally means serving the feet of the teacher. But the symbolic meaning is that on which the teacher stands. The vision of knowledge and whatever the Guru embodies. Now, Goswami Tulsidas Ji, in every devotion, he points out what are some slippery slopes where a person might get caught and where he might slip in his bhakti. So what is the pitfall in Guru Bhakti? He says, Guru Pada Pankaja Seva Tisari Bhagati Amana. One of the greatest obstacle in Seva is Mana, pride. To show this point, there are many stories in Puranas that how Seva, if it is not done with care, it can increase our pride instead of decreasing it. What is one good example? Jaya and Vijaya. They got Salokya Mukti, closest to the Lord. And their vritti was, because I am closest to the Lord, I am greater than other devotees. So that one thought became an obstacle. And Bhagwan decides to cleanse them of that thought in his own way. See, whenever we do seva, one thought that comes in our mind is savior depends upon sevaka. Savior means what? Whom we are serving. Sevaka means one who is serving. If you are not alert, what will be our takeaway? One whom I am serving depends upon me. And what is the main message in seva? What should we take away? I depend upon the one whom I am serving. Not other way around. Same thought Garudji got when he came and snapped the Nagapasha. He was serving Bhagwan. And what was his understanding? Lord of the universe has to depend upon me to get freed from Nagapasha. How can he be the Lord? Now look at the opposite side of Hanumanji, who is the ideal sevaka. He accomplished everything. And when Bhagwan praises him, you did so much. What does he say? Bhagwan, don't pull me down. Don't pull my leg. Because I know whatever was done was accomplished by you. If you wanted it to be other way, not even one of these accomplishments could have been done. One good sadhana is wherever we might be serving. Either it is organization, our company, at home, wherever else we might be serving. Just remember the first day when you walked into that place. First day, whenever we might have gotten inspired to serve there. And remember today. And see whether we have become smaller through these years, or have we grown more stronger in our ego throughout these years. If it has made us small, then our seva has given its result. And if you notice, compared to that day, today I am even more strong-willed. Strong-willed means strong-headed. Nothing wrong in it. It's an honest evaluation which will help me to grow. where I should start doing some course correction by which I can invite Bhagwan to my home. That's why you see how carefully Goswamiji says, Guru Pada Pankaja Seva. It is wonderful. But Amana. Whenever I started doing it, from there to today, has my ego become smaller? If it has, that will bring Bhagwan in my life. And actually, this is what gives lot of joy to our Guru. Whenever they see a sadhaka blossoming. External work we do is good. But internally, we should keep a check on our journey. Now, fourth bhakti. After he has done satsang, gained delight in satsang, started serving, now he becomes capable enough to share. How can he do? Or how should he do? Chauti bhagati mama guna gana karai kapata taji gana. Fourth devotion is he is singing the glories of the Lord, which is wonderful. But Goswamiji says there is another slippery slope there. Another chance of pitfall. What is it? Kapata, deceit. So a person might be sharing, but unless it is without deceit, that sharing doesn't benefit him. Now, what is kapata in sharing, in speaking about Bhagwan's glory? See, one kapata is where we ourselves don't put forth effort to live what we are sharing. Or we ourselves don't have conviction in what we are sharing. But we expect everybody else to be buying what we have to say. This is easier to understand with food habits. If somebody goes on talking about vegan food or vegetarian food, but himself is okay eating all types of food. He says that in your presentation there was kapata. That is what he means here by kapata. Now you apply this to spiritual topics. Person might be talking about truthfulness, talking about punctuality, all great qualities. But himself doesn't have reverence for them, is not striving to cultivate them, and does not have conviction for them. That becomes our kapata in sharing. Now this sharing is a great sadhana. And you include all types of sharing. If you are sharing with kids at home, that is also Chauti Bhagati. If you are sharing in Balvihar class, that is also Bhakti. Study group, Pravachan, all of them are forms of Bhakti. You know, another facet of this, each Bhakti is powerful enough to bring Bhagwan to us. Each Bhakti on its own, because Bhagwan is going to say later, I have told 9, but even one done properly will bring Bhagwan in their life. Satsang done properly. Rati if it happens properly. Guru Seva if it happens properly. And sharing of this knowledge, if it is done properly, it will bring Bhagwan in our life. Chauti Bhagati, we share. We might be imperfect, but we have to intensely strive to work on ourselves. Okay. So we'll have one more session before summer break, which is our next session. We'll try to reflect a little more on Navadha Bhakti. अगणित गुणगण भूषण रामा, आश्रित वत्सल जय जय रामा। अयोध्यवासी सीता रामा, आपद्बान्धव जय जय रामा। दशरथ नंदन श्री रामा, दशमुखमर्दन जय जय रामा। कौसल्या सुखवर्धन रामा, कामित फलदाय जय जय रामा। पाप विमोचन श्री रामा, पट्टाभिरामा जय जय रामा। जानकी वल्लभ सीता रामा, जय रघुरामा जय सीतारामा। वानर सेवित श्री रामा, वारिधि बंधन जय जय रामा। हनुमत पूजित सीता रामा, श्री राम जय जय रामा। रघुपति राघव राजा रामा, पतित पावना सीता रामा। श्री राम जय जय रामा। श्री राम जय जय रामा। सियावर रामचंद्र की जय। सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की जय। हरि ओम।